thing in proper quantity. So like the ecosystem. Because ecosystem ideally should be balanced, of consisting of all the creatures and all non-living essentials which support in the living system. Then only that ecosystem can sustain. But if balance is destroyed by merciless cutting of trees, you cannot expect that ecosystem can survive anymore. But it's happening in these days. Many times, a gardener has a concept of only cutting, not creating, even if it is not disturbing anything. For example, this tree. This tree developed without any taking care. This is the native of this land, particularly. This branch, where they are sharing this area, even it was not harming to anybody. But the gardener, with the concept of doing his job and the cleanliness freak, it cut all the leaves just like it has done on the banana leaf. And you know, there are some papaya trees. Okay, before going further, let me ask you how many kind of the papaya tree do you know? Many of us do not know about the kind of the papaya trees because other the papaya trees, because doesn't yield any fruit, mercilessly cut. But nature likes balance. Unfortunately, here you can see the type of the papaya trees. This is one kind. You can see in the trunk itself, fruits are there. And in the another kind, just beside this papaya tree, at the end of the long stem, the papaya has been grown. So you can understand the differences between two for your knowledge. There are basically three kinds of the papaya trees. One is the female tree. The flowers need only pollination to grow, to get fruit. Without any pollen, it cannot produce any fruit. But the trees, which is called the male tree, because it is not bearing the fruit sometimes, because of our ignorance, we cut it. So if we mercilessly cut the male trees, where from this female tree will get pollen for fertilizations of the fruit? It cannot get. So we need to understand the necessity of this. Whereas this is another kind of the tree. You can see the fruit also, but definitely I can tell that this is the hermaphrodite kind of the trees. That means it produces both the female part and the male part in the flower. And that's why it was able to contribute to supply pollen grain to fertilize this tree. And at the same time, with the self-fertilizations, it has grown papaya at the end of the long stem. Fortunately, somehow, this tree was not cut because it is producing fruit. But had this tree only the male tree and not bearing the fruit, in such cases, in the gardener's concept, it would cut. Our gardener's concept. Anyway, it is very difficult to change the mindset of any professionals. And that's why it's said that for any profession, for improvement, education is required, and at the same time, along with the education, attitude should be fine enough to accept the good advice with some logical approach. Otherwise, these things will be continued. The branches mercilessly cut despite making the gardener to understand that we are fortunate to get the cooked food, but where from the trees will cook the food? The only source of getting the food is the photosynthesis. And for photosynthesis, the green leaves are required, branches are required. If you cut the branches mercilessly, don't expect to get the big productions from this food. And that is happening. Gardener might be in the freak of the cleanliness, so called cleanliness concept. It drove him to cut the branches mercilessly. And nature is getting affected. My question to you, are you going to change your attitude to save yourself, to save the ecosystem surrounding you? If yes, just try to be a lone crusader, even if just make the people understand the utility of the balance in this nature. And please plant trees as many as possible so that we can survive. We are getting affected by the global warming in Zambia also. This country used to have so pleasant climate 10 years or 8 years ago, but right now we can understand that even the summers are getting day by day very intolerable and irritating type of things. So let's save the ecosystem from being the desert as it already happened by nature in the other countries. But if we cut the trees without replacing, without plantations of saplings, many other so-called green countries can be converted into the desert, dry desert. Ask yourself, ask your conscience that we are here make the country greener or to make this country a desert. Choice is yours. Ball is now at your court. Thank you.